Hello and welcome back. So yesterday our former administration made some changes to FHA loans that says who can qualify for an FHA loan. Now this is a big change that we're going to talk about in a minute and why it's a big change. But yesterday the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which oversees FHA, declared that FHA, which is the Federal Housing Administration, will once again start backing loans for illegal immigrants under DACA. So what is DACA? So DACA is an acronym that stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It's a policy that was put in place by the Obama administration that essentially protects 800 young people. You might remember it as the Dreamers, if you will. And the Dreamers were people that entered the United States as kids unlawfully. Now that program didn't grant them citizenship or any certain status, but it did allow them to work, it did allow them to get a driver's license, and so on and so forth. But as far as getting a loan, they couldn't get an FHA backed loan, a loan insured by the government because of their immigration status. So FHA didn't allow immigrants, unlawful immigrants, to use an FHA loan when purchasing a home. So now this change that HUD implemented yesterday will give those DACA recipients who are legally allowed to work in the United States the ability to purchase a home and use an FHA-backed mortgage. Now, why is this important? Because if you watch the video I did a couple of days ago where I compared interest rates, I compared payments when talking about conventional loans versus FHA loans, there was a clear difference in the types of programs, the interest rates they offered, which basically came down to lower monthly payments. So DACA recipients prior to the announcement yesterday could get a loan, a conventional loan with Fannie or Freddie, but they couldn't get a government-backed loan through HUD, through FHA. And FHA allows you to put 3.5% down, which is a minimal down payment. So it allows, more people to qualify if you have lower credit scores or what have you. It just allows an easier path to qualifying for a home. But you're probably saying, well, they had conventional. Yes, but I'll reference that video that I did a couple of days ago where I broke down those payments, and you'll see when looking at a conventional loan at 3% down, even a conventional loan at 5% down, and comparing it to an FHA loan, there's hundreds of dollars in difference when comparing those loans. So typically speaking, an FHA loan is going to end up being a better loan for most people, regardless of their credit score. I think in the examples that I did in that video where I broke down a 640 credit score, a 680, and a 740 credit score, there was only one instance in all of those where the payment was actually lower, and it was where you had a 740 or higher credit score and you were putting 5% down. In all the other cases, the FHA payment ended up being the lowest payment. So keep in mind, this just allows them to now use, even be considered for an FHA loan, whereas before they could not. But understand you have to qualify, right? There are certain qualifications that you have to meet when using this program under DACA, in addition to your normal FHA requirements. Now, in other videos, I've discussed FHA loan requirements where, we go over credit score, we go over debt to income ratio, we go over all of that stuff, which I'll link to here if you want to check that out. But there are some additional things, there are some overlays that match up with the FHA loan requirements, but are specific to DACA recipients alone. And those are: the property has to be the borrower's primary residence. So this is just like normal qualifying when using an FHA loan. The borrower also has to have a valid Social Security number, except for those employed by the World Bank or a foreign embassy. And the borrower has to have evidence to be able to work in the US, as evidenced by an employment authorization document. Now, by HUD allowing DACA recipients to now use an FHA loans, this just opens the opportunity to give them more options when buying a house, right, outside of conventional. So you have an option at potentially lower down payments, which could affect your overall ability to qualify, right? Because in some cases, FHA allows a higher debt to income ratio. So, this is one of those things that's out there. There's a lot of people that will now be able to potentially qualify for a home that weren't able to qualify before because of the leniency in the program. But if you need a mortgage person, a mortgage professional to talk to analyze your situation to see if you qualify, do me a favor. If you don't have someone, reach out to me directly. I'm happy to put you in touch with someone and help guide you in the right direction. If you have additional questions for me, do me a favor, comment below. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Appreciate the support. Hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.